Real talk, real impact, unfiltered and unapologetic. This is FemmeIcon.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Mahvish Akhtar with another episode of FemmeIcon. Today we're talking about hi Tuba, how are you? So today we will be talking about challenging happiness and what that means and how do we do that. First of all, I wanted to say that I haven't been around for a while, and I don't know, I think that has been a good thing for me and for you guys. I just needed a break from my everyday, and I think you guys needed a break from me, right? So it's been a good arrangement. But now I'm back. I'm still not back in Pakistan, but I'm back here in this capacity. So yeah, and you know, being here, being in the place that I'm, assalamu alaikum, being in a place that I'm in right now, it's giving me time to think. It's out of I'm out of my home, my comfort zone, where I always am in past couple of years or a few years. I've been in one place and doing the same thing. You know, it's just kids and work, and that's it. It's just been on repeat for me. So this has been good to get out and to, you know, I felt like I was coming to a familiar place, which it is. It's extremely familiar, and we are going to talk about happiness. So, you know, it does make me happy. But of course, I'm coming after so many years. It also brings a lot of, it has changed. So that's what made me sort of, you know, think about happiness. And then I see people around me, and that made me wonder that really, how does everybody perceive happiness and what we consider happiness, and just the way everyone is looking at happiness. When we were, you know, at different stages of our life, how we perceived happiness, and how now people who are growing up, how they're looking at happiness. You know how this thing that's going on in the internet where Gen X is comparing themselves to the millennials and Gen Z. It's kind of like that, but it's not really. A lot of us who are Gen X, we are also kind of looking at things in a certain way, and I just wanted to talk about it and just wanted to, you know, kind of explore not just other people or younger people, but ourselves as well, because we did that too. We did all those things, but now it's just a little bit more clear in the sense that now I'm coming back with my kids. I'm coming back after a long time, but I'm also coming back with my kids. So things are a little bit more clear, or you're looking at them more when your children are involved, you know? So the first thing I feel is that we need to really think about what we think of when we think of the word happiness. You know, not just the feeling that we get. We know the feeling that we get. But what do we think of? Happiness is what? The definition. For us, I mean, we can look up in the dictionary and tell you, and tell each other what the definition is. But what comes to mind? For us, happiness is when I do this, when I have accomplished this. I'll be happy when this happens. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be big things. Let's go to small things. Oh, that day when this happened, I was really happy. Absent of stress. when I'm not stressed. Or it could be, okay, absence of stress in certain, in a whole week, or no stress at all my whole life. So there's a difference then, though. You want no stress just a week and you'll be fine, or you want the stress to be gone. So which one would be considered happiness for you? I mean, these are not questions that I want you to answer, but but you defined it. Okay, this will make me happy. In whatever capacity, this will make me happy. Other people have, other goals, and it's okay to have even materialistic goals for you, for anybody. You have a clear path. Now, everybody has to work towards whatever makes them happy. Now, will you only be happy when you reach that goal, or while you're working on it? Are you happy in those moments too? Okay, I'm working to achieve whatever my goal was or is to make me happy, and I'm working towards it, and this working towards my goal is also making me happy, because that is what I've set out to do. I don't want stress in my life, and I don't want to, have all this, whatever it is that's causing me problems, and I'm going to work to, get rid of it. And I'm happy that I'm able to do it, or I'm happy that at least I'm trying. So is that also happiness? Or is that just more stress and more problems because you're trying to solve it? And when you're resolving problems, or whatever else is causing you, whether it's work or, home, whichever kind of problems they are, when you're resolving them, it's more stress, usually, during resolving them. So, are you happy then? So, and I'm not saying that because, I'm completely protected by this whole thing, and I don't struggle with happiness, and I don't struggle with, I got, all my problems figured out. No, I picked this topic because I know that everybody is struggling with it. And what I'm seeing more and more of is, as my kids also grow up, and I'm seeing more and more of in this generation, the generation after us, our children who have also grown up, is that they're focused on, I'm going to put my happiness, my true deep down, they're having fun, they're living a life, which is good, but they're focused on, which I feel like, I don't remember, I feel like we didn't do so much of, that I'm going to put my life right now on the side, and I'm just going to work, and really put in the effort. And then when I'm older, then I'm gonna enjoy myself, because I would have saved a whole lot of money, which would be okay if they were also kind of giving themselves some break, and having a little bit of, like, I wouldn't say fun, but letting themselves be happy, right? So that just kind of felt like, I feel like that breaks a person in some way. And I'll get to what I mean by breaks a person. Because then the concept of happiness is when I have the money, when I have the material things. And that causes more emotional stress, more, it takes down your physical health, because your focus is not on the actual happiness. So then we need to define what happiness is, right? So if because that example was just right on point, that happiness is when your mind is at peace. So absence of stress is when your mind is at peace. So when you're working that hard, when you're doing that much, your mind is not at peace. If your mind, and I'm not saying that you should stop working at this age when you're young and when you're newly married, or even if you're by yourself, whichever, situation you have with your family, when you're young, whether alone or with a new couple, or a new couple with kids, in those situations, you do need to work really hard. But you need to keep in mind that I cannot put my happiness and our happiness aside for later. Because that's not feelings. That's not how feelings, emotions, anything that is naturally part of your body and your mind, or physiology, that is not how it works. It cannot be stopped, because if you will stop it, there will be consequences. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Then you will be frustrated, you will be angry, you will take it out on each other or other people that you're close to, and that's what I'm seeing more and more of. And then you don't have time for people who are close to you, people who care about you, because you are so busy in whatever you think you need to do. And happiness and being around people who matter and doing things that are important then becomes trivial, because you feel like, no, the most important thing is that one thing that I'm doing. So another thing I'm going to say, that was just like a side note why I felt that we need to define happiness and its importance. But that was kind of a side note. And this is not all young men and women, and not everybody is using this formula. But this is one of the things that made me want to think about that, made my mind go in that direction. And I wondered if we did that when we were younger. It's a possibility that we did. And I'm just old and I'm, thinking in a different way. But definitely being happy and living this kind of life, that's definitely something. Happiness is something that is definitely confused. That I'm sure of, because I don't think most of us understand what happiness is and what brings happiness. So another thing that I think is part of happiness is loving things, right? People and stuff. That makes one happy. That could be a part of the definition, a big part of the definition. That when you're in love with a person, or just love a person in any capacity, I would say that should make one happy, right? Whether it's your, partner in life, your children, your parents, your, whoever, or friends, that should make one happy. That should be something that relaxes you and that kind of brings you, brings comfort to your life. And that should be a source of happiness. But most of us, and I'm going to be honest here, it's not about love. And we say it all the time, these relationships are not about love. I'm sure my mom loves me. I'm sure my husband loves me. And yeah, sure, I love him too. And, my kids, whatever. But it's all stressful. So then again, if all of this is causing stress, then where is the happiness in this? So I'm just trying to, kind of point out that these things that should not be stressful, these things that should be should be bringing us happiness, these things are not the cause of happiness for us. These things are we love them, we want to be around them, and we are around them, but it's not a constant source of happiness. It's just kind of like you see them sometimes after a long time, so yeah, you're excited and you like it, and definitely we love them. And so then there's material. We love material things and we want it. But then, is that love? Because we want a phone and we love it, right? We'll use it for a year, and then after a year there's a new one. And so what happens? We're just like, oh my God, it has this and then this and then this. Ours doesn't have that. So then Either we're going to start working more to save up money, or we're going to start bugging our husband or our mom or dad to get us one of those. So is that happiness? Because we were happy when we had it. Now we're not happy. So hi, assalamu alaikum to everybody who's just joined. I'm going to have to go through a lot of names, and it takes me forever to read these. So just hi to everybody, and if you have any comments or questions, please go ahead. We're actually talking about challenging happiness, which means first we're defining it, and then we're talking about how we get to what happiness actually is, and how we make ourselves happy, or how we try to be actually happy, for lack of another word for it. So yeah, sorry. So yeah, so were we actually happy in the time period that we had that phone, and then we got over it and got the new one? So was that a period of being happy, or was that just something else? Was that us just being, जैसे कहते हैं ना, थोड़ी देर के लिए बहल गए थे? Like you give the kid a new toy and they play with it for a while because they were bored, or they were whatever, crying or whatever, and then they get done with it and then they want a new one. So that's something to think about, because love and happiness are connected. So we need to know that what kind of things actually make it happen, make us happy. Now here's something that I want to shift to, which is still connected. It's still part of happiness. It still includes love, and it still includes the absence of stress. So you cannot be happy unless you are loved and you love other people, and you have to be confident in that, sure of it, not by the whole world. That's never going to happen. Even if you have like 2-3 people in your life that you're sure of, that love you in a way, in a sincere way, where they're going to be there for you, and you have people you can trust to, again, that you can talk to, that you know will be there for you. Love is like, these people care about you. Not everybody can, you know how you say that you have friends who will even take a bullet for you, or family. That's people you can actually trust. People who love you are those people. And then your parents, your siblings, your aunts and uncles and cousins, you wouldn't expect all of them to do that. They might do it, but you don't want to find out, because you don't want that for them. And then again, with stress, I would say managing stress, because I would love to say stress-free, but I don't know. I wouldn't count on that in our lives, right? So being able to manage your stress, and what that makes of life is now, since we're challenging the general notions of life, of being happy, and we're trying to figure out what actual happiness is, I feel like this is the formula. Having love in your life, and being able to manage your stress in a reasonable way, and having people that you can trust. And that will be something that I would call being content. And I think for the lack of a better term for it, or a better, maybe even explanation for me to give to you, I would say that there's no such thing as happiness. That's why I said, okay, we have to challenge this notion, because we're not meant to be happy here. And we forget that it's not about this world. So I'm not going all religious on you. I'm just getting practical. And I didn't put any material on this because that's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna make you happy. Because I've seen people with everything in their lives, everything in your life. Yeah, and that is the point I was getting to, that we're not supposed to be happy all the time, 100% of the time in this world. Because the world doesn't run according to us. So the things that you can have is you can have people who love you. You can manage your stress the best you can. You can have people who you can trust and count on. And you will have contentment. You will be at peace, somewhat, knowing that there is a balance in your life. And then you're going to have to give up control to something higher than you. Something that you know has got your back. And then you will not have to work so hard all the time, constantly, to save up money. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, definitely, work and save money for your family. Of course, that's a given. But you will not have to work so hard that you can't have fun or be happy in the moment and, save up for later, for your family, for your, a house that you want to buy, or your kids. Work so much that you don't have time for your family, for people who, build those relationships that later on will be by your side when you need them. Build, or manage your stress, or have your loved ones around you, because that is something also you'll need. Or, you're looking to just have those material things, because those will also become more and more and more expensive. So when you're ready to just kind of relax a little bit, those material things that you think will make you happy, they will get more and more expensive. You'll buy one nice car, and then there will be another model for that next year. Then you're going to think, oh, that's going to make me happier. But that's going to make me happier. A bigger house will make me happier. So you'll keep chasing those things. Not everybody, but if that is your agenda to make you happy, then that's never going to change. So, like Shazia said, happiness in this world is not having everything. That's not how this world is made. Happiness is, I also say, moments. Little moments in between all of this chaos, all of this craziness. You just grab them and keep them in your mind. You keep collecting those moments. You keep, putting them together. That's going to be your happiness. That's going to make you what makes your life fulfilled. And the rest of the time is going to be you looking at how much, how they say to make a journal. Before I used to be like, oh my God, make a journal, really? Even as a counselor, I told, my clients when they came to me to make a journal, but it was hard for me to get behind it. But now I understand the importance of it, now that I'm with, now that I have kids who are old enough, and they're always complaining. So I told them to make a journal, and I told them all the good things that happen in a day, to write it down, and then write down all the bad things that they think that happened to them. And then be grateful to Allah for all the good things and ask Allah to make the things that are bad, make them better, like a prayer. And when they started doing that, their attitude improved. I mean, they're still brats, but their attitude improved. And then the journal that I got them, it had like your something like your resolutions for the next day, or write down 3 things that you would like to improve for the next day. And it also had something like forgive, forget, whatever. So, and that really helped them to see how our lives, how much happiness or contentment, I shouldn't say happiness, contentment, where you're satisfied. Because we have started thinking of happiness as, oh, if I'm partying, I have a lot of people, things are happening constantly, that's happiness. No, that's not happiness. That's just making yourself forget, making yourself just busy so you don't think of important things. Yeah, once in a while, that's fun too. And that's nice to have, just kind of, let your mind not close your mind really. When you're doing things like that, meaningless things, you're closing your mind, and that's okay once in a while. But you can't have that happiness, that kind of, that's not happiness, but that kind of just closing your mind and not thinking about anything. Once in a while, again, like I said, it's okay. But most of the time what you'll have, if you're just following this kind of formula where it's like, things happen in life and I can't have everything and I have to deal with my problems, which is stress management, in a certain way, and you decide how you want to deal with it. You make a kind of again, journal or chart or whatever, and stay close to people you love and trust and talk to them, and keep up with your work and things that you do, keep yourself busy. You will be content and know that there is somebody higher, somebody greater who has your back. You will be content. So that's why I say challenge this idea, happiness and contentment. There's nothing coming later. So to say, if I do this, then I'll be happy. No, you'll be the same. Maybe you'll enjoy that thing and you'll like it and you'll be excited about your new house or your new car, or, if you wanted to have a baby, about your baby, you'll love it, but it will be more work. So that happiness, it's not going to come. You'll just be like, well, I love my child, but what is this? I'm just constantly working. So chase the contentment. See what makes you, from the inside, not happy, but makes you fulfilled. And I don't like to use these kinds of buzzwords like fulfilled and, gives you that satisfaction and fulfillment, because then it just becomes a whole different thing. But in reality, you're just looking for that kind of, okay, I want this, and but it's not going to be in material. It's going to be in things that are solid, that will stay with you, not things that can be taken away or broken or can get a new model. It's not going to be in those things. So that's the biggest thing to remember, and also find happiness in moments. Let me elaborate why I say that all the time. Because you're not going to have people telling you certain things that are important for you to hear just because. They will tell you those things, or you will find that they care about you in a certain way that is important for you to learn randomly in certain places, in certain moments. And that would be important. That would matter. You haven't seen anybody in 3-4 years. You go to visit just because you're going, and then you end up doing something together that makes you realize they actually care about you, or you actually missed them in more of a, oh, I missed you, haven't seen you in a while, but actually missed them, like they mattered to you. So you created a memory right there. Or you're with somebody else and they said something to you that really meant something. They said something about your parents that really was important for you to hear. So that is happiness, because it really went and pierced your heart in a way. Those are things that you would consider, a memory and happiness. True happiness that was in that moment is past. But what they gave you, what you got from that, interaction, will be a forever kind of thing. Just recently, we got together with the family. After a long time, we were all together, actually, with my nieces and nephews. And that had happened before this. We had gotten together over, I don't know, 8, 9, almost 10, if I think about it, 10 years ago. And that was an amazing memory for all of us. All of us were together and we were just hanging out. My babies were very little, and we were here in Houston. So they had all come to hang out. It was the summer. They were all off from school, and they, just came to my house, all of my sister's kids. And we didn't do anything special. They were just there. Half of them couldn't drive, and I had very small babies. I had a 1-year-old and then a newborn. So I wasn't going anywhere or taking them anywhere. They were kind of stuck in the house, but just because we were all together and they were seeing me after a long time, and there were 2 babies in the house, they were excited about that. So it was a really fun summer for everybody. And after that, we always talked about, we should do that again. And, even though they fought so much with each other, they had come from Pakistan, they were all spoiled, brats with maids and everything, and they had to do chores, and they had to, wash dishes and clean up and all of that. But still, so everybody, that was a memory for us. We had fun. It wasn't about stuff. We weren't, they didn't have things. There was nothing to do. TV was boring at that time. It was so long ago. And they barely could get out. They had to wait for my husband to come home to take them somewhere. Sometimes I would give them permission to take my car out, and I had like 50 billion instructions for them on how to use it. Be careful, don't do this, don't do that, don't go on the highway, or all that. So, but, everybody has that memory of how that summer was, and they used to miss it. They used to be like, oh my God, this was so great, and the Katie house, and we have to get together again, we have to do this and do that. And finally, we did something like that this summer, and again, all of them got together in the same way with us. We're all together, and we're all hanging out, doing same kind of thing. Only my kids are like 10 and 11, so yeah, after almost 10 years, we're doing this. So for them, it was kind of, for us too, and for them, it was kind of a same feeling where they were like, yeah, we're recreating that Katie summer, and we're getting together, and so these are memories, right? That was a memory for them. They enjoyed it, and we were together, and we did things together, and we went out, and we don't remember the whole summer, because a lot of it was fighting and yelling and don't do that, you made a mess there, go clean it, this and that. But it's the togetherness, that we were together after such a long time, and that love that we showed to each other, and again, when we were together, it was the same thing. We were still getting annoyed of each other, because now everybody's older, people are married, there were kids involved, and of course there was a lot of that, oh no, I don't want to change that for you, you do it, no, and we were out, and it was hot. But again, that was a memory of being together. And that was happiness. That was actually pure happiness. Because we were all kind of doing our thing together. So these are the moments that make us happy. And you keep them in your head, in your mind, and you thank Allah that you're able to have these moments. And other things, it's not just going to be family. You get a promotion at work, or you do a really good job and you get a good job from your boss. Be happy about that too. Those are moments. You will be happy and you will remember that, oh, that happened to me. And because of that, maybe you'll later on get a promotion. So in every area in your life, those moments, they're going to string together and make moments of happiness. And then eventually, that's going to string together and make a content life. So a content life is a happy life. But waiting, putting everything in hold, and just doing one thing that, yeah, I enjoy my work, but I'm overworked, so I can't even enjoy it because it's so much for me. That can't even give you contentment. In your work, you can't even enjoy your work. And then you have that whole part of, I'm going to wait. And then when you're going to wait and you're going to get to that point where it's time to enjoy your life and find that happiness, you're going to realize, wait, there's no such thing as happiness. It's just being content and being okay with the way things are. And once in a while, finding those moments and those little, areas of happiness. And that's not enough compared to the hard work that you would have put in. So that's my take of it. And I know it sounds disappointing, but it's not, because I'm having to say this a lot these days to people. I don't know why. That this is not the end of the world. If we actually believe that, actually understand that, then this whole thing will be easier to swallow. We are not supposed to be here forever. This life will end. There is another life. And if we have that faith, and if we have that faith that there is somebody watching out for us, then it makes it easier. Makes it easier to live with all of this. And I'm gonna end because that's all I had. That I wanted to explain just kind of what I've understood lately about life. That happiness is in the moments, and other than that, you just have to be content, and you have to make that choice that manage your stress and just trust in very few people. And that's it. Make a choice to do that, to be content, and that's all you can have in this life. And you need to be okay with it, because that's all you're going to get. If you're not okay with it, then you're just going to be miserable. And yeah, I choose not to be miserable. So yeah, somebody said to me, they were like, they just saw me last year. They're like, right now you look much better. Like, you look happier, more relaxed, and it's more fresh. And I was like, yeah, because I think I've accepted it. I mean, I knew it and I had accepted it, but then a lot of things happened in my life and there was a lot going on. And then there came a point where I was like, okay, well, I can't control these things, right? And what am I looking to do? Just being worried about it and just trying to grasp at everything. I just need to let go, I need to give control to the one being that can actually change things and actually control things, and just, manage my stress again, and just let it go, live my life. And so that made it easier for me to deal with things, and to maybe even, forgive and forget in whatever capacity that I could. For now, when something goes really wrong, I'll see. Then we'll deal with it when it comes. But for now, I'm done. I've given up, and I've left it to Allah, and I've just I just pray to him that things turn out for the best, because only he knows what's best. And as far as he was like, oh, you look happier, I was like, no, I'm not really happy with the situation that we have going on. I can't really be happy, but I'm content. I believe that Allah will find the best solution, because if I can't find the solution to this problem and people around me can't find the solution, then it's not because, we are incompetent. It's because right now we are not the ones who should be finding the solution. So we leave it up to who is more capable than any of us, right? So I'm not happy. I'm content that I did what I could, and I'm going to leave it to Allah, and I'll make my moments of happiness. I'm here, I'm relaxing, I'm meeting people that I care about, my friends, my family, and I'm content in the fact that Allah will find a way, and that's that. So find that jo ta na sukoon, dil ka sukoon, look for that. That's basically happiness in this world. That's the happiness, all the happiness that we need. And I wish somehow we could convey that message to our younger generation, that that's happiness. Peace of heart is happiness. That's contentment. We're not going to find, I'm going to make a whole lot of money, and then I'm going to buy this and buy that. I'm going to be, and then I'm going to be okay. That's not going to happen. That's never going to be okay. I mean, yeah, live well. If you have the money, if you can make the money, sure, live well. But that's not going to make you happy, because happiness comes from a different place for a different reason. And you have to find your own reason. So that's a struggle. And it's always going to be a struggle. But just keep working on these few things that we talked about, and hopefully we will get there. And believe me, it's still a struggle for me. I'm saying that now, but then like in 2 weeks, I'm just going to be completely, angry and stressed and, oh my God, what's happening now? But no, I'm working on just, not just being in the zone. So that was me. And thank you for being here. And again, I apologize for yesterday. My time, days, everything is off. Like I honestly thought it was today. And thank you for still putting up with me, still showing up. I appreciate that. And I will see you guys next Saturday. We will still go with Saturday. So I will see you guys then. And in the meantime, FemmeIcon is still doing a lot of things. We're still having a lot of art events and FemCart and all of that. And please join us. Yeah. Well, I'll see you at 5, actually. Everybody else on here, I'll see them, next Saturday. But I still might see you on Saturday too. Who knows? So yeah. So, and what we were talking about, by the way, the things we were discussing, being content and just kind of handling your stress. If any of you need our help, need to talk to our therapists or psychologists, please DM us or email wellness@femmering.com. And we're here for you. We're always here for you. So everybody else, we'll see you next Saturday. And I will see you at 5 today. Unless I fall asleep again and, But no, I'll see you. I'm up now. I can't go back to sleep. All right. Have a good day, good night, good afternoon, evening, depending on where you are. Salam.